Oh boy, it has been another one of them days. All right, we have some Hollow Justice for you all today. Heck. Yeah, okay. We'll see which one's highlighted, the white one, the red one. Anyway, we left off. I have no idea what's happened. We might have been in court, we might have been out in the field. Oh, recess. July 10, 1:40 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Apollo, I can't believe it. It really happened during the second act? And right in the middle of Lamy Ra's performance? Right, we had just learned that all the shenanigans that we thought had happened during one part of the performance actually happened during the middle of a song when Lamy Ra was doing a magic transference from one side of the stage to the other. You know, quote-unquote magic. Stage magic. Heck, my TV just blipped on me. Perhaps it will come back. Or perhaps not. There we go. Okay. And right in the middle of Lamy Ra's performance? The reason why she was in that air vent. And that switch, flaming guitar. When you link it all together, that's what you end up with. I knew you had what it took. Oh. Ah, Daddy! Mr. Wright! You believed in me? Okay, what is my TV doing? Oh, it's not my TV. It's killing on the... Here, too. Give me 1 second here. Let me reseat a cable or two. Oof. That device is warm, let me tell you. I think. Maybe because of the device it's sitting on, I hope. And not that it itself is baking. Give that a second to see if it comes back on its own for that. Or if I have to continue barking. Oof. Okay, HDMI 3. It believes such a thing exists. Ooh. Okay. I got a grainy on the TV side. And I got nothing on the other side. That's nice. Let's see here. This one. So many cables. I want to just rip them out. Okay. I sure did a thing. All right. We'll again reset it. Up here. Yeah, that's definitely some of that. Okay, I'm gonna get this cable out to where it belongs, and we will reseat that one too. Oh, wait, no. Okay, that's great on the TV, but it's not here. I might have to reset it from this side, so give me a second here. Do this in studio mode. All right. So we will deactivate, reactivate. There we go. At least visibly. Do we have audio too? Yes. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. But y'all know how technical difficulties can be. Difficulties. You believed in me? Not really. Huh? I just thought that'd make a cooler entrance than, say, hiya. Why do I even bother hoping? Where have you been lately, Daddy? You haven't been coming to the office at all. Ah, sorry about that, Terusi. I'm on a secret mission. Secret? You mean like you're undercover? Like Mr. Latou's, only shorter and not as well dressed? Oh no! What if you're shot too, Daddy? Would I do a thing like that to you? Anyway, I'm off for a while again. Huh? Leaving? Oh, one thing before I go. What? Good luck. Right. Is that all you came to say? I think you have things pretty much under control. You'll get Muchy to buy off the hook, no doubt. Yeah, but you're after that detective, aren't you? Darian Crescent. It won't be easy proving he did it. Especially not under the current court system. The current court system? What did Prosecutor Gavin say during the trial? Your case is based on one fragile assumption. Namely, that our Diva Divine is telling the truth. But what about all the proof? The brooch and the switch? A piece of jewelry and a lyrical blunder. There are plenty of other ways to explain these things. The flaming guitar, too. All because you lack definitive proof of their connection to the case. But if the sultry songstress is lying, your case melts like butter in a frying pan, leaving behind the faintly singed scent of failure. So would I too. Like I said, good luck. And be aware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Oh, that reminds me. I have something to give you from our detective friend. Detective Sky? Emma? Let's see. This bag of snacks here was meant for me. Ah, here it is. What are those, Daddy? They don't look like very good snacking material. They were found at the scene. Analysis of the fragments revealed traces of gunpowder. Gunpowder? Probably a firecracker or something similar, like the ones kids are into these days. These fragments were found under the sofa at the scene of the crime, actually. Under the sofa? Hey, Apollo! That's where we found that little device thingy. Right, this. Well, finally some evidence that makes sense. Burnt fragments added to the court record. Found at the crime scene, bearing gunpowder residue. Possibly a firecracker? That's all from me, I suppose. See you after the verdict. Maybe. Hold on, let's look at this burnt brick. So, you think this was some kind of firecracker? Yeah, or one of those noisemakers like you shoot off on New Year's. Did you know that in China they use firecrackers on New Year's to scare off evil? So it's kind of the same thing. Really? I had no idea. Well, did you know this? It takes more than 500 peanuts to make one 12-ounce jar of peanut butter. At least my useless fact had something to do with the evidence. Okay, it's in various pieces, which is interesting. But it's all collected, connected, whatever. Anyway. See you after the verdict. Maybe. Right. Every man has an igniter inside him. Excuse me? Find Darian Crescent's igniter and set it off. And he walked out the door, just like a magician. Normally. What does he want us to do? No conventional methods? What does that mean? It means we have to use our bracelet. I guess we just have to take his advice and hope it makes sense when the time comes. I guess. We're almost to the finish line. Hang in there, Trucy. Oh boy. July 10, 1:55 p.m. District Court, Courtroom number 3. Court is now back in session. Prosecutor Gavin, where is Detective Crescent? In the witness lounge, ready to be called at any time. Very well. Might I add, I don't believe any of this. Darian was the first detective I ever worked with. We stopped working together when he moved to Criminal Affairs Division 3. But his guitar playing, it fires my imagination. That's nice, but it has nothing to do with the matter at hand? Correct? Don't ask him, that just gives him an opportunity. Say, no, I'm sorry, that's fine. Oh, I know. Half forehead. Very well. Call the final witness to the stand. Detective Darian Crescent. Name and occupation, please. Darian Crescent, Detective, Criminal Affairs, Division 3. That's the International Affairs Division, for those of you who didn't know. And I'm a guitarist for the Gatherers. Maybe you've heard of us. Do you fully understand the circumstances under which you stand before us today? Yeah, I understand, Your Honor. What I don't understand is how you let this happen, partner. You gave me your word I wouldn't be standing here. The situation's changed, Darian, and don't call me partner. So much for old friends. I see what you're doing, Darian. You're pressing the prosecution. Your Honor, if we could begin the trial? Yes, it's high time we did. Let's hear your testimony. You may begin with your response to Lameroir's testimony, if in fact you have anything to say about it. Oh, I got plenty to say. Lying must be a national pastime in Virginia. And wherever you're from, Mr. Justice. Conventional methods are out the window, huh? Here goes nothing. You mean here comes justice? Witness testimony. Darian's rebuttal. The diva's lying, plain and simple. She's got nothing to back up her story. In the first place, she never heard my voice. She forgot the words because she heard gunshots? As if. Didn't Detective Musky hear those gunshots during the third set anyway? The shooting took place when I was on stage, man. So you claim Lameroir's testimony was a lie? Hey, don't get me wrong. I dig what she's doing, trying to protect that kid. And she's got the court eating vague statements out of her hand just 'cause she's blind. You go too far, Darian. Look, all I'm saying is you've got a reliable witness. Why not listen to the detective? Detective Sky? I see. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. He didn't waste any time finding our weak spot. I can't do this with Lameroir's testimony alone. I'll have to find some other way to prove when the shooting took place. Alright. Cross-examination. Darian's rebuttal. The diva's lying, plain and simple. She's got nothing to back up her story.
Hold it!
You don't have any proof she was lying. Oh yeah, kid. You saying I lied. Oh, I'm just saying, Apollo, glare back at him. Couldn't help it. I flinched by reflex. Detective Crescent. Yeah? What do you want? Nothing. Apollo, chin up. Back straight. You're wilting. This guy's hard as nails. He makes Walkie look downright cooperative. Look, there's no way the diva remembers my voice. In the first place, she never heard my voice. You never talked to her, even though you were playing in the same concert? Not a word, as far as I can recall. But weren't there planning sessions or something? Gavin took care of all that himself. Darian wasn't involved in any of the meetings with her. As if you can just go around remembering everyone's voice like that anyway. Only an idiot would believe that. Amara's hearing is very sensitive. She could remember him if she heard him, I'm sure of it. I just can't prove it. And I need proof. She forgot the words because she heard gunshots, as if. We know she missed the words. The mixing board proved it. Oh yeah, there was a mistake. But blaming it on gunshots is just a lame excuse. What do you mean? The mixing board proves what? It proves there was a mistake in the song. A miscue. So, she just flubbed it up, big time. That's all. She spins this story about a gunshot to protect the kid and cover her for her own goof. Man, I'd have to hand it to her if she wasn't sticking it to me at the same time. Darian, watch what you say. La Miroir is an artist. She just flubbed it up. That's no small accusation for a performer of her caliber. She got to you, all right. I can see it in your eyes. I tell you, most of her stuff is so pretentious, it's way over my head. I'm detecting a rift in the Gaviner's ranks. Anyway, she's too close to the defendant. Her testimony can't be trusted. You ask me, I'd go with Detective Sky's story at the drop of a pick. Didn't Detective Emma Sky hear those gunshots during the third set anyway? Actually, I was there too. So I hear. Which means you heard them too, right? The gunshots? Yes. We heard gunshots. Neither I nor Emma actually saw the shooting, mind you. I guess you and La Miroir got the same excuse then. We know one thing for certain here. There were gunshot-like sounds that emanated from that room during the third set. Oh. So the kabams from the kabam bam that we picked up? What we must determine is whether those sounds were actually gunshots. Machi heard them too. Remember he said he ran for the air duct when he heard them? So, how do we figure out just what those gunshots during the third set were? How were they not, in your mind, the thing that you were just given? Shooting took place when I was on stage, man. It could have been what the shooter wanted us to think. I'll tell you what the shooter, that kid, wants you to think. He wants you to think the diva heard me in that room. Back to relying on La Miroir's testimony. As much as I'm enjoying the Darian and Forehead show, there is no need for such tempers. Don't make us into some comedy duo. This mean the Gavin and Darian show's cancelled? Neither of your claims can be proven or disproved. We could argue for days like this and get nowhere. Prosecutor Gavin is quite right. This court will hear no further discussion on this topic without new facts. New facts, huh? He's pretty eager to paint La Miroir as a liar, isn't he? Yeah, because her testimony is basically our entire case. This is tough. So, what do we do? I've got a few ideas. I just need to find a way to prove it didn't happen when he says it did. Okay, so. Okay, first off, do we really know? I'm gonna look over things to see if there's any kind of way we could know some things would never be heard by others. I mean, I guess if he doesn't sing during the show. I mean, there is this, but I don't think that, definitely interested in that, though, but this is not the time to show that. Okay, I think this is where I would show... I think I would show the new thing here. I don't necessarily think that's the bark, bark, bark. But we'll see if it's accepted or rejected. Yep. Allow me to hit the correct button. Objection! Some things were found at the crime scene after yesterday's trial. What things? The first was this small device. That's the remote-triggered igniter. Correct. And one more thing. What are those? The remains of something burned? Not another guitar, I hope. Traces of gunpowder were found on these fragments. We have a report that it was something like a firecracker. How did Gavin know about this? Emma works for him. What? You think Detective Sky works for you? I received the report this morning before coming here. That's when I made my decision, actually. What decision is this, Prosecutor Gavin? I registered Darian as a witness in today's trial. Just in case. This raises another possibility. Those gunshot-like sounds during the third set could have been two firecrackers rigged to go off by remote control. Ah! Ha-ha! You got an active imagination, don't you? But you shouldn't say every little thing you think. Your explanation there seems a bit too convenient to me. How so? So, you're saying these firecrackers just happened to go off right when two witnesses came walking by? Ha! Oh yeah, well, the headset was lying in the hallway the whole time. And we knew it was live because we picked it up and tested it. That's right. Darian was out on stage when it happened, Apollo. How would he know someone was backstage right then? If a firecracker goes off in the forest and there's no one there to hear, you get my drift? Why go through the trouble, man? How do I explain this? He may not like it, but Darian is a gifted detective. Show any weakness and he's sure to find it. He may not look it, partner. Gee, thanks, man. That reminds me. I happened to pass through that very hallway several times that day myself, and I saw something odd there just before the third set. He saw it too. Something odd? A headset. The kind all of the band and staff members were wearing. Huh. That's right. We picked this up in front of the door to that dressing room. And the mixer says that the... Oh, wait, but yeah, I think the mixer shows that we had the missed cue, probably at the very time that he was doing the thing, maybe, question mark? Anyway, we picked this up in front of the door to that dressing room. What if that headset wasn't dropped, but placed? And what if it was turned on? You could hear what was going on in that hallway, even if you were out on stage. Whose side are you on, Gavin? Listen to me, Darian. There are no sides in a court of law. Which is why I now turn to you, Herr Forehead. I have a question for you. Huh? For me? The igniter and the burnt fragments that were found at the scene of the crime. It's certainly a possibility that they were part of a ruse to fake the sound of gunshots. Throw the headset from the hallway into the mix and you could fabricate an alibi. Oh no, the internet is failing. It might not be staying that way. Dipped into the red, but now it's back to green, and it's just a mess. Fun stuff. Throw the headset from the hallway into the mix, and you could fabricate an alibi. But we're still no closer to proving anything. Those gunshots might have been real or fake. We can't say. You've raised the possibility that the shots heard during the third set were faked. Now you need to prove the other half of the case. The other half? Look, I'll just tell it. He wants you to prove the thing that went down in the second act while our little piano player was on stage. That right, Gavin? Indeed. If you can't prove that, then to continue this cross-examination would be pointless. Hold on. Prove it happened in the second act while the piano player was on stage. Sure. Well, Mr. Justice, can you prove the crime took place during the second set? Yeah, I think. You'd better know, Apollo. Otherwise, we're through. It can be proven. You make it sound like someone else is going to come along and do it for you. Let's continue with the cross-examination then, shall we? Witness your testimony, if you would. This isn't going to be easy. I need some decisive proof fast. You ready, kid? 'Cause I am. The shooting took place during the second set? If you're so sure, let's see your proof. Okay, so... So I'm thinking about this. I want to hear this again. Is this the second set? This is the Guitar Serenade, which was the second set. The one where La Miroir was... Yeah, okay. So I think it is this. Okay. I don't know what the other instruments are. Anyway, the point is... I think this is the one that shows it. I don't know if I can just show it, or whatever. Let's go for it. I don't know. Do I have anything else that shows it? Ooh, hold on. Oh, wait, no, this isn't the shooting. Why does the mic on that headset look like a smushed Q-tip? Well, it's probably just the color. It looks, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna show this. If they don't like it, well, too bad for them. Objection! Stop the music. It seems there was clear proof left behind. Right here in Lamaroir's song. Her song? What exactly is this, device thingy? A new variety of gramophone, perhaps? Come on, we just used this. And don't get me started on gramophone. This device was used to record the performance part by part. Part? You move the sliders to adjust the volume. Each instrument is adjustable separately, La Miroir's voice included. Ho-ho! But what does this prove? According to La Miroir's testimony, at the moment of the shooting, she forgot the words to the song. Ah. You intend to examine the recording at that moment, yeah? We might even hear those gunshots. Exactly. Ha, ridiculous. How are you supposed to hear gunshots back in that dressing room, out on stage? Have you forgotten, Darren? We were all wearing these headsets. Oh. We were all deeply involved in our performance. But La Miroir's headset would have picked up what she heard all the same. Then let's get to analyzing that recording. Right now. La Miroir stopped singing when she heard the shots fired. Find that spot, and I'll find the gunshots. Okay, so now I have to redo this thing. Her voice is track 1. We're going to do this one part at a time. And I'm going to be really slow and stupid about it because I'm really bad at music puzzles. That's just me. Okay, then it's the start of the second verse is when we miss the beat. That right there. That literally was right it. Hold on. Stop. Right there. Take that! Your Honor, listen closely to this part. This is the track with La Miroir's vocals. You stole away the keys? My heart held on to so tightly, or whatever. Ooh. Listen. Yeah. I did hear something faintly there, yes. Why, it sounded like a gunshot. What? This has to be some kind of mistake. I believe a case has been made. Gunshots were heard during the second set, which means La Miroir's testimony was true. Order? So, she was telling the truth about what she heard? It was the other man speaking, not Mr. Latouche. Well, what did he say? It's over. Press the switch. Now. Just after that, there was a gunshot, and then the guitar caught on fire. Detective Correction, you weren't on stage during the second set. You could have done it. But why did we only hear one gunshot on the recording? Were 2 bullets fired from this weapon? La Miroir was moving for the air vent, Your Honor. She must not have been close enough for her mic to catch the first shot. But then as she passed over the dressing room, the gun fired again and Mr. Latouse's life was taken. Well, Detective Crescent? Once again, I'm reminded of something. Huh? Our performance that day. Your performance? Seeing the mixing board jogged my memory. You were there too, Herr Forehead. That's right, we talked about him missing the cue. What is it with today? Problem after problem. Achtung. My hog won't start. My guitar case is busted. My guitar's been burnt to a crisp, and to top it all off, someone's dead. And then there was that performance just now. What was that all about? His part is off. Which is that? Second guitar. Ah! It was you, Darren. I thought it strange at the time. How could you miss such a simple cue? I know you. I know how you play. You're better than that. Yeah, well, You what? And Prosecutor Gavin, what are you getting at? I'm talking about the murder weapon. Mr. Latouse's .45 caliber hand cannon. As we have learned, even the shooter doesn't go unscarred with a revolver that size. The kickback is enough to dislocate your shoulder if you're an amateur. Wait, you mean his playing was effective because he hurt himself shooting that revolver? You're forgetting something. Yes, Detective Crescent? I'm a trained police officer, you know. I've had firearms training. Plenty of it. I'm no amateur. The standard sidearm issued to police officers is a .38 caliber weapon. A much tamer beast. Also, the murder weapon belonged to the victim, Mr. Latouse, which suggests there was a struggle between killer and victim. So, the killer might not have been holding the revolver correctly when you fired. Is that what you mean? The thought had occurred to me, yes. Well, does the witness have anything to say to this? Detective Crescent? What I want to ask is what Mr. Sleeves rolled up ready for action has to say. Hey, you, attorney. Me? Exactly which piece of your evidence is decisive again? You got a little noise on a tape that could be anything. And you have an alleged guitar cue miss due to a .45 caliber kickback. I wait for this case, Gavin. I really do. You can line up your little weak pieces of evidence all you want. I didn't shoot that manager. And that's the obvious truth. The witness has a point. The defense's arguments, while persuasive, are not decisive. I believe we should hear what the witness has to say in response to the case so far. Your testimony, please, Detective Crescent. Tell us your reasons why you couldn't have done it. Witness testimony. Proof of innocence. Come on. Why would I even want to kill that manager? You want a reason? Easy. I got no motive, man. This was that diva's first trip to this country, right? How could I possibly know her manager? If I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him? Well, that sure leaves one stone upon which it should be easy to terribly break things up. A simple reason indeed. Prosecutor Gavin, Is it the case that Mr. Latouche had not been to our country before? According to our records, yes. Not even once. I see. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. Now, hold on. They may not have been to America or whatever country this is, but we know that the governors went to Virginia or something, which is where he got the, sent from Virginia, the guitar, theoretically, unless he went out there alone, which he could well have done. Anyway, all right. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. Great, now I need to find a motive. You need to do that anyway. Kind of. I don't know. Proof of innocence. Come on. Why would I even want to kill that manager? I don't know, you tell me. Her manager, sure, but Mr. Latouche was... Alright, sorry. An Interpol agent, wasn't he? I just have trouble picturing that big lug as an undercover cop, you dig? Not a very good one, seeing as how he got wasted. That's cold, dog. Not that it matters either way. See, I had no reason to kill a man, whatever he was. You want a reason? Easy. I got no motive, man. That's the same for Machi. No motive was proven for him. Come on. He traveled around the world, that old fart. He had plenty of time to come up with a motive of his own. Or not, sure did. I mean, think about it. This was that diva's first trip to this country, right? Darian, you're a detective with international affairs? Yeah, what of it? Even if this was Mr. Latouche's first trip to this country, you still could have met him prior to the concert. Huh? Or don't you take any international trips in international affairs? That's right. Well, Detective Crescent? That's your game, innit? That's your game, innit? Yes, I better confess, then. Confess? Yeah, it's a bit of an embarrassment, but I've never been sent overseas. What? But you're an international... See, me and Plain's got a difference of opinion. We don't like each other much. My condolences, Herr Forehead, but he's telling the truth. He's never set foot outside the country. I can guarantee it. As it turns out, my division has plenty of work to do locally as well. That's so unfair. How could I possibly know her manager? So you didn't fraternize with him at all during the concert? Fraternize? I don't think we exchanged a single word. As if anyone would want to talk to that old Eastern blockhead. Wow. Now the ladies, that's a different matter altogether. So, you see, if I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him? You sure about that? What? What? Wipe that look off your face before I do it for you. Listen, you try throwing out one of your wild accusations. I'll throw it back at you so hard, you'll forget who you're accusing of what. Her forehead, perhaps it's best if you let your evidence do the talking, yeah? Man, what evidence? That's what I want to know. So, he's using his motive question as ammunition, huh? Well, I've got ammunition too. Evidence. Okay, so what is the motive evidence that I have? Lyrics, publicity, let's look at things. Sightseeing music. Okay. Bottom. Well, now see, this is the thing we still don't have a reason for yet, which is interesting. Why does Latouze have Gavin's keys? Latouze might be the bad guy, and Darian found him and barked. That's a possibility. And then, you know, killed him in self-defense by shooting him in the back. Because... And there's a whole smuggling thing, which I don't think is a thing yet. But that's my best guess, actually. Let's see if he likes it. Objection! No, he doesn't. The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Justice. I must be on the wrong track. Why would you even want to kill that manager? No motive. First trip to the country. Okay, hold on. Everything else is about, I don't know him, I don't know him, I don't know him, and I don't know him, except for this one in the middle, which was it her first trip to the country? I'm going to say no, because Gavin's guitar was when they played together at one point, and then she went home to Virginia and came back with it? Right? I will try that, and if it's not that, then we'll go to the suggestions of the internet. Also, she doesn't know. She has amnesia. She could have a whole life here that nobody knows about. However... Objection! Nope, that's not it either. Witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Justice. Oh, must be on the wrong track. Okay, so before we do anything more ridiculous, we're gonna do a save. Lock in our poor choices. Okay, let's see here. Diva's first trip into the country. Sure. Oh. See, I don't believe that. I mean, I don't get it. But okay. Hold it! I didn't mean to bark. Yeah, we learned about this. I played again. Yes, he took no international affairs visits. Yeah, he's never set foot outside the country. Okay. So unfair. Alright. Okay, so the suggestion is we show the egg, the replica, the Tenga. Objection! Your Honor, take a look at this. What's that? Looks like candy. It's not... Don't lick it, please. Detective Crescent, ever seen this? Looks like a piece of... looks like a piece of candy. What it is evidence. Don't lick it before you try it. Specifically, this is a replica of a cocoon. It was found among the victim's belongings. A cocoon? Never seen one that color. It is a variety only found in the Republic of Virginia. Nowhere else. Alright, but what is this cocoon replica doing in my courtroom? Surely this has nothing to do with a motive for killing Mr. Latouze. Does it? It does. Wait. I think it does. You don't sound so confident, man. A cocoon? Is it one of those silky cocoons? The kind that you can make, well, silk out of? Not this one. This cocoon makes a powerful curative. A curative? For what? Apparently it is most efficacious in treating a disease thought incurable. It is the only medicine of its kind. However, it is illegal to take one of these healing cocoons out of Virginia. Whatever for? If it's such a miracle cure, why not share it with the world? Yeah, that's what I've been wondering. We looked into the matter at some length. Apparently, it isn't difficult at all to manufacture the remedy from the cocoon. Yet, if you change the process only slightly, you can easily make a large quantity of something else entirely. A deadly poison, in fact. What? There was an incident several years ago where some of these got out onto the black market. It caused quite the commotion in the global community, though the media was kept largely unaware. What kind of commotion is it where the media bark? Yes, the media is not going to tell every story. But that's the media keeping the public unaware. Bark. Intriguing. All this has led to a strict ban on the cocoon's export. One rigidly enforced by Interpol, among others. Interpol? Right. The victim, Romain Latouze, was an Interpol agent. Detective Crescent, who insists on referring to him as a manager. That is misleading. Romain Latouze wasn't killed as a manager. He was killed as an undercover agent. So I was trying to smuggle his gumball into the country? Which, he hasn't even been out of the country, so... That's what you're trying to say? I'm saying there could well be a motive for murder. Oh, so I was gonna sell it on the black market. Make myself a pretty penny? Ridiculous. Totally unthinkable. Unthinkable, you say? Why? Perhaps it's time for another testimony about this smuggling of cocoons business. Witness testimony. Cocoon smuggling. International Affairs got a memo about these cocoons. Interpol's all hot and bothered about them. Can't sell them on the black market. It's too dangerous. Yeah, cocoon smuggling ain't exactly lucrative anymore. Man, I'm in international affairs. I know the deal. Indeed. Interpol wanted these cocoons bad enough to send Mr. Latouze undercover. You kids think up the craziest things. No way am I gonna risk life and limb just to get my hands on some dirty cocoon money. Not the most noble of statements, but duly noted. According to the reports, these cocoons top Interpol's list. Selling them to an underground organization would be risky. Selling him to the Chief Justice or whatever? Very well, you may begin the cross-examination. This is the only motive I've got. He was up to something, and I'm going to find out what. Cocoon smuggling. International Affairs got a memo about these cocoons.
Hold it!
Memo, that's how you know about the cocoons. Oh, nice one, nice one. I'm running scared now. You had to know about the cocoons to plan this. Just how well known are these cocoons? I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I'd never heard of them. Well, I'm aware I knew about them, though not their use. My reports indicate that there are ongoing efforts to control information about the cocoons. Most people only know that they're illegal to export, and that's all. Then, I have nothing to be embarrassed about after all. You could say people like me who know about them are a minority, yeah. But that includes everyone in international affairs, man. And everyone in Interpol, too, for that matter. Yeah. Interpol's all hot and bothered about them. So there are other Interpol agents like Mr. Latou's? You didn't think that Mr. Latou's was the only agent in Interpol, did you? All over the world, likely. Deep undercover, most of them. That's why these cocoons are too hot for the black market. You don't want Interpol sniffing through your wares. Most came to the conclusion that can't sell them on the black market. Too dangerous. Dangerous? Yeah, Interpol finds you. They arrest you on the spot. Or another marketeer might think you're part of a sting, take you out himself. Times have changed. Yeah, cocoon smuggling ain't exactly lucrative anymore. But wouldn't scarcity drive up prices? Yeah, and attention. Every gangster and his brother would want a piece of that action. He'd turn your forehead into Swiss cheese before you could say objection. Maybe we could get them to cut his hair too. Who's on trial here again? Man, you so obviously know nothing about the market. That's a bad thing? Don't even try to mess with me about this stuff. Man, I'm in international affairs. I know the deal. You just said none of them know about it, which is why you know how to find a loophole in the system. Hey, you could say what you want about me, but back off of international affairs. There ain't no loopholes, okay? What do you think we are, Boy Scouts? Yeah, the Boy Scouts, famous for their loopholes. Wasn't what I was trying to... Down, Darien. It's as you say. There are no loopholes, at least in the case of these cocoons. International affairs, Interpol, and Virginian customs are all watching. See, we know what we're doing. Not like some yipping little doggies that lap up every word that diva says. Why, I oughta what? You want some of this? Chill, both of you. Let's do this coolly, yeah? Screw cool. Help this guy's head on a stick. Apollo, you are on the job. The replica has to be the key to his motive. There's gotta be a way to find out what he was up to. Okay, so... can't sell them. Ain't lucrative. Anymore. You're in international affairs, you know. No, it's something to do with this. Presumably he's doing it to get this for the Chief Justice's son. Do I show that here, or do I not? Yeah, I do. Okay. Suggest we can toss it at this point.
Objection!
Object who? Why not choose a less dangerous buyer then? I would. Ha, clueless, are you? Everyone in the market's dangerous. The second they found out I was a cop, I could kiss my keister goodbye. I sell to a black market buyer. How about someone like this?
But that article, that's about the Chief Justice's...
Deadly poison can be extracted from a cocoon. So can a cure. And not a cure for just any disease. A cure for incuritis.
Incuritis? I've heard of that somewhere.
You went to visit a victim of the disease this morning.
Aha! Why, that's a disease the Chief Justice's son has. You aren't saying...
Our witness is a detective. He would have contacted the Chief Justice.
You are saying... The Chief Justice would never deal in contraband.
Not even to save his own son's life?
But even if the deal went through, why, it'd be an international scandal. You might have to kill the Interpol agent that was...
That's Detective Crescen's insurance. If word ever got out, the one with his neck on the line would be the Chief Justice.
Detective Crescent, is this true? First I'm a murderer, now I'm a smuggler?
How many crimes are you trying to pin on me anyway?
Distasteful as it is to think about, if the Chief Justice were the buyer, why, a seller couldn't hope for a better deal. A very cowardly seller.
Don't let sleeves over there trick you. So I made a deal with the Chief Justice. Where's your proof? Well... Oh yeah, and you're forgetting one other important thing. Do tell. Interpol isn't the only ones out there watching this. Virginian Customs barely sleeps. They're so worried about cocoons getting out.
So we were informed. Let's continue with the cross-examination.
Alright, so Virginian... Oh, so it's a new piece of... Oh, this is... Oh, your whole... Adding everything here. Okay, so... Virginian Customs is very thorough. Everything and everyone gets checked.
Hold it!
Just how strict is this customs check? Way strict. They keep lines on the ground for hours. I do recall it being a bit extreme. They were even confiscating gumdrops and marshmallows.
Yes, it would be hard to distinguish them.
That's right. Gavin was in Virginia, wasn't he?
I remember setting off the metal detectors several times. I had to practically strip naked to walk through.
Here's a travel tip for you, Gavin. Leave the bling at home, you glimmerous fop. Coon possession will get you arrested on the spot and then sentenced to death.
Hold it!
That's pretty extreme. Virginia has its rep as an idyllic, laid-back place. Truth is, they're beyond hardcore with security. The Republic of Virginia is a peaceful, pleasant country. So this level of security shows us how truly concerned they are about these cocoons. How's the situation? Hey man, if there's a way to get cocoons out of there, I'd sure like to know.
Hold it!
You're in a position to know quite a bit about smuggling. Yeah, I need to know a bit for work, sure.
While we get a report on the failed smuggling ops. Not exactly something you want to go copy. But if you want, I can tell you a few of them. Maybe you'll succeed and get rich. I would be interested in hearing, purely from a legal perspective, of course.
Weep for our judicial system. The replica has to be the key to his motive. There's gotta be a way to find out what he was up to.
Okay, so... Cocoon in possession will get you sentenced. Spot. Arrested and sentenced to death. Oh no. Imagine if they snuck one in the guitar when they sent it from Virginia. That's actually a possibility now that I think about it, but no, perhaps. Guitar. Motorcycle. Guitar and motorcycle, and he knew about that. That's why he had the keys. Because he was investigating Gavin, who received a guitar, question mark? I mean, I don't know. I'm going to say that you could smuggle one out in a guitar. I'm going to be wrong, but I'm going to do it just to do it.
Objection!
Oh, or I could be right.
Actually, there is one way.
What?
One way to get something out of the country. No checks.
What is it?
You become a prosecutor.
A prosecutor? I don't believe it.
Believe it, Prosecutor Gavin. What was it that you told me yesterday at your office?
It was a beautiful instrument. It was played lovingly for many years. A guitar befitting a woman like La Miroir.
How did it end up here?
I mentioned how much I enjoyed playing it that night, and she made a present of it.
So this guitar is from Virginia?
That it is. We couldn't carry it on the plane. Changes in air pressure and humidity ruined the wood. So we vacuum packed it in La Miroir's studio. I used a special shipping service available to me for transporting evidence. They brought it right up to my office for me. Ha 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 ha! Pristine and untouched.
Did I get that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Untouched?
Quite. The guitar was wrapped in several sheets and vacuum packed in Virginia. The pack was untouched until the day of the concert. Are you saying that guitar was...
With cocoons this small, it would have been very easy to use your guitar as a mule to smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia.
What?
Which reminds me, Prosecutor Gavin, that guitar had some work done on it recently, right?
Work? Good memory, half forehead. Well, you know how guitars have a round hole in the front. It is called the sound hole. Well, they found something attached to the wood just inside the hole. A broken device of some sort. A broken device? Yes, this in fact. An igniter. Exactly. Consider this, if you will. What if that igniter wasn't the only thing that was attached inside your guitar? You mean... He means this, of course. Tractor voice. I ain't gonna be able to do much of that with this kind of goings on. I might restore that back to you, but we'll depend and see how much talking I feel like doing. Outside of this again. Anyway, he means this, of course. There was a way to get a cocoon out of the country. They could use picky Prosecutor Gavin's privileged guitar as a mule. And who better to do that than someone with access, like a member of the band? Yark! Order, order, order. So the igniter was placed in there for a clear reason, it seems. It was a safety precaution. A precaution? Ah, Herr Forehead. At last it all comes together. Every strange thing that happened that day. Care to review? Maestro, the gentle sounds of Lammerwar's ballad, if you please. First, my keys were stolen. A harmless misdemeanor. It's not how that goes. Which forced me to break the lock on my guitar case. The key was stolen to retrieve the cocoon from the guitar. I see. But things didn't go so well. The smuggler wasn't counting on the guitar being wrapped. Only a member of the band could get near that case. Unwrapping the guitar would raise too many suspicions. Then the concert began. Right about this time, a very large problem presented itself to the smuggler. What's that? Mr. Latouze. Ah. Mr. Latouze, an undercover agent, was onto something. He would have known about the guitar. He'd only have to check the shipping records. So, Mr. Latouze tried to examine the guitar himself. If the cocoon were confiscated then, the gig would be up. The only thing left for the smuggler to do would be to get rid of the whole lot. It's over. Press the switch, now. The guitar burst into flames, and the cocoon was lost. And then... Mr. Latouze died. A bullet must have just, was gone into his body. With La Miroir there to witness it. There's your case. Brilliant, man. Detective Crescent? I gotta know, you make all that up on the fly? For a made-up story, it makes a great deal of sense, Darian. The Republic of Virginia? Sorry, man, but I haven't even been there. True, you haven't. Ha, let's see you make up a story for that, kid. How'd I hide the cocoon in the first place, huh? Machi to buy. It's not so hard to imagine. You had help. A Virginian accomplice. That's all. That you had an accomplice was clear from the start.
The voice Lamoir heard proves it. It's over. Press the switch, now. You made this transmission from backstage.
While your co-conspirator was on stage. But who was it?
This is it, the coup de grace. And for once, I know what I'm doing. There's only one person who could have helped you.
Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say, then. But be warned, with a great accusation comes great responsibility. Make up your answer on the fly, as it were, and you'll be harshly penalized. Want to be harshly penalized? It is foolish to save here, but bark, bark, bark. So, the thing is, I'm pretty sure the answer is Machi. But the problem is, our job is to defend Machi. And even if we get him off the off the hook for this case, apparently, for whatever reason, this theft is still a capital case anyway, but bark, bark, bark. Are you ready, Mr. Justice? Who was the smuggler's accomplice?
It was Valent Gramarine. No.
I mean, no.
It was... I don't want to finger Machi, but I don't have any plausible anybody elsery. Let's see, Phoenix Wright, obviously. Gavin was actually in on it the whole time. It was his guitar. It was his idea. Latouze. Actually, Latouze is not an impossible option himself. You know, an Interpol agent, has been to Virginia, has police, he's carrying a replica of it. He could totally be getting away with carrying a real one. Be like, oh no, that's a replica. We're doing it for back. Machi.
Take that!
There's only one person who meets all the requirements of the accomplice. And that person is the defendant, Machi Tabai.
But Mr. Justice, he's your client.
Defense attorney accusing his client? That's a new one. I assure you, no one is more unhappy about this than I. But I'm here to defend him in the murder of Mr. Latouze. And I stand by my statement earlier that he's innocent of that particular crime.
Indeed, the defendant is Virginian. He does meet the basic requirements to be the accomplice. But what if it was, in fact, Lamoir?
It couldn't have been.
Well, you seem sure of yourself.
The reason is electronic signals, Your Honor.
Electronic signals?
Recall that this remote only works to a range of 30 feet. Beyond that, it's useless.
Yes, that's true.
Now, think back to the testimony. When the shooter made his transmission, Lamoir was in the air vent, right above the dressing room where the shooter stood. Let's look at the stage diagram. This is the area that the remote could reach from the air vent. Heck.
Well, looking at this, it seems that Lamoir still could have done the deed.
No. When the shooter made that transmission, the stage was slightly different than shown here. It was in the middle of the guitar's Serenade. Oh, being lifted. Part of the stage was raised. Prosecutor Gavin and Lamoir stand-in were in the air. They were on a tower which happens to be 15 feet tall. In other words, the remote couldn't have worked from Lamoir's position in the air vent. Oh, to hit the guitar. Sorry. He's me thinking she couldn't. They're saying he couldn't have used it into the dressing room. But no, the Lamoir stand-in is irrelevant here.
Gavin, with his guitar, is on the extended tower and couldn't be hit from bark, bark, bark. But, hey? Ah. Well, Detective Crescent, what do you say to that? Your Honor. Yes, Detective? Could we see the video where Gavin's guitar burns? Just one more time. Oh? Oh. Well, I don't see why not. What? You don't tell me he has a way out of this. It did start while he was part of the way up, didn't he? Glacier. The gunshot already happened. Fleeting melody. There, boom, boom! The boom! You see the boom! Wraps itself around me, and now through the air I fly. Okay, sure. Ha 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 ha! Too bad, so sad, punk. Punk? First you were sleeves, then kid, now punk. You're losing rank fast, Apollo. Wait. Sleeves, kid, and punk is a diminution of rank? From being like a person to, from being like an article of clothing to a non-fully weighted person to an ordinary but back does not compute. What exactly were we supposed to see in this video? The problem isn't in what we see, correct, Darian? Right, that's what you hear. We are magicians after all. Care to explain for us non-musicians? Sure thing, punk. Let me get your yarn straight first. You're saying I ordered the weed pianist to set off that igniter? Punk is also particular prison slang. It has several interesting uses. That right? Yes? Well, in order to do that, he'd have to press a switch. Am I right? Okay. Well, take another listen. Pay attention to the piano. Piano? It has no trouble. I can't even tell what piece of piano is. Okay, very tiny piano bits. Well, what seems to be the problem there? The piano sounded just fine. And that's a problem. Man, you still don't get it. You like some punk music? Yeah, I've had some enjoyment of punk music. One of my first partners was big on punk music back in the day. It introduced me to many things. Anyway, and that's the problem. Man, you still don't get it? Yeah, how's he supposed to hit that switch if he's playing? You got Ms. Diva, the guitar, the bass, the piano, and the drums. The only one with her hands free was the diva. On the water. But according to you, she couldn't have been the accomplice, could she? Your accomplice would have had a hard time helping out if I couldn't even press a switch. Was it la miroir? The piano plays non-stop.
He couldn't have pressed that switch.
Well, Mr. Justice, the piano does seem to be playing when the guitar catches fire.
Well, it's okay. We all make mistakes sometimes. Apollo, were you wrong? Switch was in the piano, duh. Well, I mean, it could be. Very likely. Did we not find something in the piano? I forget. I can't be wrong. I can't be wrong. Everything makes perfect sense. How could it all just...
Strange.
What's strange?
No, it's just... something's odd about the performance there.
Odd?
Mr. Justice, if Machi Tabai didn't press that switch, then he could not be the accomplice you claim he is.
But everything points to it. Every fact says he's the accomplice. You got the facts wrong, man. Here's some facts for you. Gavin's guitar is on fire. But the pianist didn't press that switch. In other words, your story's full of holes.
Mr. Justice, let's hear your final opinion on this matter now. Was the defendant, Machi Tabai, the accomplice? Your answer will reflect on everything you've said here. Give it some thought.
Apollo, if Machi's not the accomplice, then our whole case is ruined. I know that. It has to be him. He was the only one who could have helped the smuggler. He had to have pressed that switch. Well, you better find a way to prove it. What have I got in my stuff? Pressing the switch. Ooh. Well, I mean, the trigger was found on the stage? So someone on the stage used it, right? I'm confused on that point exactly. Maybe, I don't know, Mark. Well, you'd better find a way to prove it. Roy do. There has to be something that doesn't fit. Something odd. Wait a sec. What? You thought of something? What was Gavin saying just now?
Strange.
What's strange?
No, it's just... something's odd about the performance there.
But do I have to listen to the performance again? There's not much to go on, but it's all I got. I want to listen to it again. We do have a thing for the piano, right? It has its track. I don't know which one it is, but I know this is voice. Oh, so that is piano number 4. It's very quiet. You? Turn off the metronome.
Hmm. So if we go back to the point where the stuff happened. I don't know. I mean, it's not much to go on, but it's all I've got. What exactly did you hear that was odd? Have you come up with something, Mr. Justice? May I remind you that everything rests on this. Can you prove Machi Tobai pressed that switch? Let's hear your final answer. Can you prove that Machi Tobai pressed that switch? I want to say yes with the mixer. I'm not sure. Hold on, let's see here. Yeah, okay. No pressure. So much pressure! I don't know if you can call this proof per se, but I can prove it was possible. Then, as prosecutor, it falls to me to ask you to show us evidence supporting this. Hair forehead, you're sure about this? Hold on. I need to correlate this with the actual video because I can't tell anything. Next section. Okay, so bum 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 bum. I like that metronome when I'm trying to check for clicky noises. Like, this is very light playing. I don't see why he shouldn't be able to grab a switch with one hand. Her forehead, you're sure about this? Ha, accepted. There's no evidence, man. Let's see your evidence, Mr. Justice. On what do you base your claim the defendant pressed that switch? The music?
Take that!
The basis for my claim is music, Your Honor.
Music? What about music?
Let's listen to the piano part around the time when the switch was to be pressed. Right before the guitar burst into flame.
I hear a piano being played.
But doesn't it sound kind of simple?
Simple. I think I know what he's suggesting. You think Machi could have played that part with one hand? One hand?
He only needed one hand to press that switch. He can play the piano with the other. What? So you're some kind of piano savant? Actually, no. And what do you know? You can't play a part like that with one hand. Maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about here. Wait, I know. Hey, Trucy. Yeah? You got something? Mr. Wright, your father, he's a pianist. Could he? Oh, Daddy? He couldn't play a part like that even if he had 3 hands. So sorry. So sad for you. Mark. Hydrated moment here. No, not really. Huh? That was just the easy way to prove it. There's always the hard way. Man, how are you going to prove whether he played it with 1 hand or 2? You can't. I admit it will be rather difficult to prove, but it's highly likely he was playing with 1 hand. How do you know that? The clue is what Prosecutor Gavin described as sounding odd. What sounded odd? I'll bet we can tell by listening to a certain part of the song. No way.
Well, it seems we've come to the moment of truth at last. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say for himself. Show us the part that proves the defendant was playing with 1 hand. Right before the guitar burst into flame.
Machi was definitely playing 1-handed just before the guitar caught fire. And 1 section of the song proves it. Really? How does 1 section prove it? Is it some other thing going on? I don't know. I'm bad at music. Why do you music puzzle me? It's like, I don't know if it's another part. Hold on. I mean, it's definitely going on to... Heck. Oh, okay, I get it. Well, I get it because I'm cheating. I'm looking at help, but because again, I'm not musical. Anyway, the bit that's being pointed out is that Section 1 and Section 2 are both, they're both the same, you know, they're both the first two verses of the song, so that they should sound the same, and they don't.
Take that!
Prosecutor Gavin, I'm sure you've realized by now just what it was that sounded odd to you. As I'm sure you've realized it yourself, Herr Forehead. Realize what? I'll demonstrate. Let's listen to the part in question again, shall we? Pay particular attention to the "but a fleeting melody" phrase. Man, how many times we have to listen to the same thing? You're right. Enough of that. Let's listen to another section, shall we? Another section? The guitar burst into flame at the end of the second verse. Let's listen to the same spot in the first verse. Pay attention to "Oh, that night in your embrace." Oh yeah, he was doing a lot more there. Ah, but play verse 2 again. There, did you hear that? They feel the same, true, but they're clearly very different. What? Well put, Your Honor. The phrase in verse 2 is quite simple, but the same phrase in verse 1 has high and low notes. You'd have to use two hands to play that for sure. What's that proof? I think you know that by now. This is why I hate dealing with amateurs, man. So the two verses had different arrangements. Happens all the time. Not this time, Darren. There's no point in changing an arrangement if you can't hear it clearly. That wasn't the point. I had him placed specifically so that the piano would stay in the background. Oh. That was what I noticed. Why should the same phrase sound slightly different, I asked myself. Now ask yourselves why Machi changed how he played, and there's only one answer. He needed a free hand in order to press the switch. Nark. Order. I believe this ties all the facts together. Well, Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, quite. Though, personally, this comes as a terrible disappointment. What? No comeback? Can't believe it. I finally did it. I shut him up. Very well. Barring an objection from the prosecution, I will now state the court's opinion on this matter. Good show, slaves. No, great show. It's not over? I don't like it when he looks so happy. You tell him, Gavin. Tell him what's so disappointing. Personally, I'm terribly disappointed in you, Herr Forehead. Huh? Me? Yes. Don't get me wrong, your case is solid. Upgraded back to sleeves. The facts all check out.
But even now, you have yet to show us a single piece of decisive evidence.
Yeah, but the facts... Anyone can see it was him.
Unfortunately, anyone does not include the law. I'm afraid your case doesn't cut it.
But...
1,000 facts might point towards the same conclusion. But without decisive evidence, it's not proof. That's the rule under our current legal system.
I don't believe it.
It does not seem as though the defense has any more evidence to present.
Oh, I think if he did, we already would have seen it a long ways back.
It is unfortunate, but at present this court is unable to acknowledge your accusation.
What? What? The truth is staring us all right in the face. Why can't they see it? What's the point of a legal system that protects criminals? Paulo, remember what Daddy said?
It won't be easy proving he did it, especially not under the current court system.
So what do we do?
Like I said, good luck. And be aware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Every man has an igniter inside him. Find Darian Crescent's igniter and set it off.
I wonder what he meant by every man's igniter. I think he just meant a weak spot, no? The kind of thing that a single spark could turn into a wildfire of emotion. I won't be able to press him further by conventional means. I gotta find a weak spot in this guy. Something fatal. So, can I get back to work now or what? It may look like I got a lot of time on my hands, but I got no more time to play pretend with his dead-weight attorney.
Well, Mr. Justice, we've come this far without decisive evidence. This witness won't be coming back to the stand once we let him go.
Every man has an igniter. Didn't you say the better the guitar, the brighter it burns, Prosecutor Gavin?
Yes. Good guitars are kept dry is why. That provides the best sound.
Even a small spark could cause irreparable damage. Your plan has an igniter in it too, Detective. It was there from the very beginning.
What?
Fighting time, Justice. If you blow this one, he'll be out of your hands for good. Go for it, Apollo.
What? And this igniter's supposed to come burn me up? That's almost poetic there, Mr. Attorney. All the better. I'm rather fond of poetry. And I intend to hear this one through to the very end. Here, forehead. You are accusing this man, Darian Crescent, of 2 crimes. The murder of Mr. Latouze and the smuggling of a Virginian cocoon. This is your last chance to prove your case. This trial has already run on for far too long. Mr. Justice, this will be my last warning. The moment this igniter of yours turns out to be a dud is the moment this cross-examination ends. Understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then, let's have it. Show us the basis for these accusations against Darian Crescent.
Okay, this is really my last chance. The key that will take apart Darian Crescent's plan is that evidence call a witness? Call a witness? I mean, I don't have any evidence left, I don't believe. I'm pretty sure that I don't. I mean, unless we really bark. Okay, so we're gonna think about it. We're not going to look it up yet. We're gonna think about it.
This is all shenanigans. Okay. I want to bring Machi in to testify. But also, this key ring... I think it's the keys. Because the victim had them. Why would the victim have them if he wasn't... But that's... Well... I don't even know. If it's evidence, I think it's the keys. If it's a witness, I think it's Machi. Or Valent Grammary! No. Alright, let me see what we're supposed to be. And if it's wrong, I'm gonna have to just cry. Or maybe I could do it with either option. Who knows? Is that evidence or call a witness? Okay, so... Apparently nothing in the form of evidence works. Let's try the witness. Your igniter isn't a piece of evidence. Huh, so what is? It is true I couldn't show decisive evidence. But perhaps what I needed to prove my case was something else. You mean a witness? Proving his guilt is a tall order. I've got just the person to do it. Very well, Mr. Justice. Who is this person who can prove Darian Crescen's guilt? Well, all these people... It's you yourself, still. See, now I'm in doubt as to whether it's Machi or Lamaroir. I mean, it should be Machi, because Machi's the one... No, hold on. All these things... We're talking in terms of decisive. Who can be decisive? I kinda want to go with Machi. I don't know how super doomed I am.
Take that!
The one person who can prove Darian Crescen's guilt is the defendant, Machi Tabai. Your client? Again? Machi Tabai was an accomplice to the cocoon smuggling... the cocoon smuggling plot. Without him, Darian Crescent could not have gotten the cocoon. Furthermore, he can easily prove that the one who plotted to smuggle that cocoon is a real criminal in this case. How so? It would require just one of the very cocoons Mr. Latouche was looking for. With the cooperation of the Republic of Virginia, we could burn a cocoon. The burnt cocoon would leave a particular residue. A residue we would, no doubt, also find inside the burned-out guitar. Aha! Very scientific of you. Thus, if Machi Tabai acknowledges his agreement with Darian Crescent concerning the attempt at smuggling of a Virginian cocoon, the case is solved. Darian's laughing again. Your unrelenting passion is remarkable. You really want to get me, don't you? Too bad you'll never be able to. Why not? The little key tickler won't acknowledge anything. Especially not anything to do with cocoon smuggling. What's this all about? Taking a cocoon out of the country means death. By Virginian law. Ah! Yeah, see? If our pianist really was a smuggler, then testifying about it would be suicide. Believe me, he's not talking. But you're wrong, Detective Crescent. What? It's the other way around. If Machi doesn't admit to smuggling here, he's in deep trouble. Huh? How? Look, if Machi admits to smuggling here, then he'll be tried in our courts by our laws. You don't get the death penalty for smuggling in our country. Ah. The victim in this case was an undercover Interpol agent. I'm sure that news has already reached Virginia. And they'll likely broadcast our dealings in court today, including the part about the Virginian cocoon. Yeah, but... But if Machi doesn't admit to smuggling now, he'll eventually be picked up by the Virginian police. And it's not like he's in any danger in our court. We're not gonna find him guilty of murder here, not now. Yeah, but you can't do this. You can't accuse me. Maybe the law doesn't allow it, but who's gonna think you're really innocent after hearing his trial? Same goes for Machi Tabai. The cocoon smuggling, your entire plan. Machi Tabai knows everything. There's only one way out of it for him. And that's to acknowledge his own crime. The crime of cocoon smuggling. Don't worry there. I'll get you out of the country. I'll set you up someplace. A hidden mansion, real nice. You want a house made out of cookies? Or no, a house made out of pianos? Come on. Please, don't Aww. Darian, I consider that my last session with you, we rocked. I'm guessing we can treat that outburst as a confession? Uh-oh, he's laughing again. There's a kind of sick desperation in it now, though. Well, have you been listening to today's trial?
Yes.
And you'll talk? You'll tell this court everything? I didn't want it to turn out this way. But I'm not the kind of lawyer that can overlook a crime. Today's trial was all for your benefit, you know. I see no reason why you should hesitate now. I knew. From beginning, I knew. Machi? Situation. I cannot explain. But money, I need it. Very much money. Today's trial raises a delicate issue with our legal system. The only thing definite in a court of law is evidence. This is the golden rule. However, it has become apparent that not all things can be tried by this standard. Should another case of this sort surface, we may have to consider an alternate system by which to administer justice. Anyway, Mr. Machi Tabai?
Yes?
I promise you will receive a fair trial by the laws of our country. And, with regards to current charges for the murder of Mr. Latouze, this court is prepared to announce a verdict. I thank you. I only lie. But you see truth. You find truth. That's our job. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Machi Tobai, not guilty. Court is adjourned. July 10, 4:42 p.m. District Court, Lobby Number 2. Defendant, Lobby Number 2. I wonder what'll happen to Machi. Well, he did smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia. I guess there'll be another trial here. All's well that ends well. Daddy! I owe you both my thanks. Amirar? My, is something wrong? Sorry, Machi was your partner on stage. Friend. Yes, I thought of him as my own son. Even now I do, yet something got a hold of him. Something evil. I see that. And he must pay for what he has done. Is that not how it should be? I'm still sorry. Do not be sorry. You have given me courage. Courage? I am considering an eye operation. It was my suggestion, actually. You mean you'll be able to see again? It's funny. I have always been afraid of the light. Light seems so harsh, so unforgiving. According to the doctor, Lamiroir lost her sight due to some kind of accident. An accident? As you know, I suffer from amnesia. I feared that if I could see, perhaps it would open my eyes to the truth I have been running from. I was scared. You know what changed her mind? Hearing your defense in there today. She could feel your gaze, unwavering, always looking straight at the truth. If the light returns to my eyes, I think I will take up painting. Painting? That's right! She's the landscape painter in sound, after all. I will paint the two of you, I promise. Woohoo! I can't wait, Lamiroir! I owe you my thanks too, Apollo. Thanks, Mr. Wright, but for what? You reminded me I need to hurry things along. On my secret mission, that is. Right, your secret mission. Apollo, Drusi, I hope that we will meet again someday soon. You bet! Me too! So, like a ballad, the trial flowed on, till it came to the end. Thanks to the trial, the guitar's Serenade was a huge hit. Prosecutor Gavin's even more dazzling to look at now. But there's something I want to say to that guy. Next time you write a ballad, have them catch the killer at the end. End. Bark, bark, bark. Turnabout Serenade awarded. Save the progress, yes. Do. Okay, and the next one is Turnabout Succession, but that is the end of the time that we have, so we're going to call it here.